Chiu.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Marco. How are you
Nice to
doing?
meet you.
Good.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Do you want something to drink?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. I'm good.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Aha!
Finally, a snake.
Why not? That's great. Okay, so this image is totally, it's a little different in that this was probably photographed in daylight.
Nope, at night.
At night as
At
well.
night, yeah.
But because of the diffused light,
Yeah.
it could easily, the exposure could have been day.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a snake that would never be in this position at night, in daylight anyways. So what kind of snake is this?
So this is a mountain pit viper.
Mountain pit
So there are
viper.
three different pit vipers in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Well, the one we usually see is the bamboo pit viper or
Yeah.
the white-lipped pit viper, and then the one that's a bit of a mystery in Hong Kong because nobody knows how it got here. People are still discussing whether it is a native species or an introduced species, which is the point-scale pit viper that can only be found in a handful of locations in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And the last one, which is a more secretive snake, that what makes it different from other pit vipers is that it only comes out during the winter. It only breeds during the winter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's surprising.
So
Okay.
so usually people don't associate herping, or herping means just going out looking for reptiles and amphibians. So people don't usually associate herping with winter, but in
Winter,
this
yeah.
case, yeah, I went out during Chinese New Year. I think I went out after my exams in first semester, so that was about like mid-December. So
Right.
I went out a few times wanting to look for this snake because it is one of the things I wanted to see
Right.
for myself this year. And I went for a few trips, didn't find it, and I think for this one it was during Chinese New Year, so me and another friend, just two friends walking along the mountain.
So that's about February.
Yeah, around mid-February, yeah. And at that time I think we would some people were saying, oh, the season's about to end and stuff like that. And so I was hoping to see the snake, but then my hopes went as high as than I were in December. So we went about like 7 or 8. And we kept looking. We checked out streams. We checked out all those mountain paths, and no snake. And it was about like 12 o'clock. So my dad was waiting for me at the top of the mountain.
Okay.
So because he was like driving his car up to get us, and I told him like, okay, I have a hunch. It was around like 12 at that time, and
Yeah.
usually my parents would kill me if I stayed too late.
Right,
But I was
right.
like, just hear me out. I have a hunch.
Okay.
Let's just go back to the stream one more time and check.
Okay.
So we went, and at first I was a bit like, because there was like a dead turtle. Like, I think it was a
Okay.
dead reddish slider
Okay.
near the stream. I was looking at that. We were looking at that, and then I turned my head around, checked behind a rock, and there it was.
Oh wow.
Just there. It was about like 60 centimeters. So by a mountain pit viper, this is a very good size.
Which hill?
It was somewhere near Taimoshan.
Taimoshan.
Yeah.
Taimoshan is the tallest hill, the tallest elevation in Hong Kong, and if this is February, it's quite cold.
Yeah, it's very cold.
And at midnight.
Yeah.
So how does the snake maintain its body temperature?
So I think they usually just absorb heat during the day.
Right.
Because they're cold-blooded animals.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they just absorb heat during the day like most other reptiles.
Right.
And then they kind of use it during the night when there's no sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you made this photograph. Was
Yeah.
it hunting? Was it just, in this case, would you say it's pregnant? It looks very full.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
very big.
Yeah.
It's a female, but so usually if a snake is that size, usually it's about 60 centimeters long.
Yeah.
I think that's that's the female size.
Sure.
The female size snake. I think it was hunting. It wasn't moving. It was just like this on the. We didn't move the snake.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
So it was, as you can see in the photo,
Yeah.
just like that, on the side of the rock.
Right.
And then we were like so pumped. It's like, yes, this
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
we've been looking for. The stroke of midnight, Chinese New Year luck.
I
This
love it.
is what we've been looking for all these days.
That's great.
And yeah, we just spent because it was getting a bit late, so we
Yeah.
were rushing to photograph the
Sure.
snake.
So let me describe the image now. So the about one half of the image on the left is you see the kind of the rough texture of a boulder or rock, and then there's a bit of leaf litter on the ground. It's very dark brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure enough, this is a winter kind of foliage on the ground, and from the top of the photo, it's a kind of leaning, kind of curving like an S down to the bottom left of the image. So in terms of the composition, the tail end, which you can't see, is sort of outside of the frame of the photograph. And as you go down, as your eye goes down the frame and follows this curve of the snake, and it's modeled not striped like the orange and black of a spider of a tiger, but it's kind of like, it's still like orange and dark brown, like this kind of weird camouflage. And the head, I mean, you can see the eye, like you really kind of have to look for it, but the eye is this. It's like a cat eye style shape. So the iris is this one, a little bit like Sauron in the And so it's got, and the head is this beautiful brown and cream and orange. So it's perfectly camouflaged. And so, do you know what it normally feeds on? Or?
Frogs, toads, some mice even. Sometimes I've seen some mice above on Time Ocean. I think there was one trip where we saw like 5 mice on the mountain, and we were like, okay, the prey item's out, hopefully the snake's gonna be out. But then at that time, no, unfortunately. But there was this one night, I think it would finish raining like a day before. Right. And the next day we went, totally perfect weather, a little bit of rain, a little bit of a drizzle, but not too much. And then bang, there was a snake.
Wow. Does it give birth to live young, eggs?
I think eggs. Eggs,
Okay. Anything else you want to add about this? Is it a protected species?
No, it's not a protected species. I think Hong Kong, so far the one I know is the Burmese python. Okay. There might be more, but I'm not too sure. Right. But this snake was inside. It was like, in terms of snakes, I've seen snakes before, but this was by far the most majestic snake.
It's special. Like,
it's a very special encounter.
Sure.
It was very exhilarating, but I was nervous at the same time because I've been wanting to see this snake for a long time. Right. And as I was photographing, it kind of like strike. It kind of tried to strike me twice. It kind of lunged at me 2 times. Okay. So my friend was like, "Dude, I'm not gonna pay for your hospital fees, and don't scare me like that." So actually, this photo was a bit of a large crop. Yeah. Because I was shooting with a bit of like a fisheye lens, and I didn't, because after the first strike, I was like, okay, let me try not to get too close. Sure. And so I shot it a bit far away. I had my friend hold the light a bit closer so I can get like bit more light, or else it'll be like really dark. The brown wouldn't be as bright as shown in the photo.
Yes. Such a beautiful animal.
Yeah, and when I was like editing this photo, I'm like, okay, so the snake wasn't moving, but I wanted to like, I kind of want the photo to kind of depict movement. Yeah. Because usually you want to see vipers coiled up at night, and this one is it was the most moving way I could ever. So yeah, I kind of like cropped it with the head down below. Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, so the snake is actually this. Well, and I wanted to pick the length as well. So this really was a big snake. Sure.
These are all aesthetic choices that you're making to heighten the impression. Yeah. So it gives me a sense of, you have one part of your personality, which is the scientific part, the ecological part, which is about documentation. Yeah. And one part of your personality or whatever, psyche is to understand the communicative power of having a strong image. Yeah. So you definitely present it in a way that is, I think anybody who sees this is going to be like, that's a full-on snake.
Yeah, that's a big snake.
Yeah. No, it's great. Let's move on, shall we?
Sure.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.